So I feel like this archetype just hasn't been getting the hype that it deserves, which is kind of understandable considering the other monstrosity we've been dealing with recently. But trust me, you should not be sleeping on Raidraptor, as this archetype can definitely hold its own. The decklist I'm about to show you can set up a total of 7 disruptions, 4 of which are completely different sources, which is beginning to look a little bit more like a Master Duel Enfield, which is a tad concerning. But anyway, this archetype looks like a hell of a lot of fun to play, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this decklist, so without further ado, let me show you. So here's today's deck list. But just before we get into the deck list, I noticed on yesterday's video that 43% of people that watched it weren't actually subscribed to the channel, which is way more than normal. So if you are a new viewer or returning viewer that's been enjoying my content recently, please don't forget to subscribe, as I do a ton of deck list videos just like the one you're currently watching for just about every single new deck from every single new box. So if you do want to see some future deck list videos from me, please don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into this deck list. Alright, so what exactly is new in Raidraptor? Well, this archetype just got itself 4 brand new cards, and of course, in typical Duel Links fashion, an absurdly broken skill called Raiders Revolution. Alright, so this skill has 2 effects. The first one is allows you to shuffle 1 Phantom Knight's rank up Magic Force, which is going to be this card here, back into your deck list to search for a Raidraptor monster from your deck and add it to your hand. So essentially it just turns all 3 of these into a Raider for the archetype, so you can just search for just whatever you want in your deck list, so that's why I'm playing 3 of them. Alright, the second effect allows you to send 1 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, to add 1 rank up magic spell card from your deck to your hand, and set 1 Raider's Unbreakable Mind from outside of your deck to the field, which is obviously really good because now you have a way to search for your monsters, and the second part allows you to search for the spell cards, so pretty good skill that adds a ton of consistency to the deck list, and of course it puts this trap card on the field, which is whenever you rank up one of your monsters, can pop a card on the field, so adds a little bit of disruption and a ton of consistency. Additionally, if your opponent controls a monster, you can also play a Raidraptor monster from your deck to your field in face down defense position, which can be flipped face up, which is a very important part to the skill as it adds a little bit of ways to play through your opponent's disruption, but keep in mind it plays it to the field, it doesn't special summon it or normal summon it, so you can't just summon out a copy of your Vanishing Lanius over here and expect to use its effect, because this card can only be used if it was normal or special summoned on this turn. That's not how this works, and that goes for most of the Raidraptor cards, including like your Tribute Lanius as well. Moving on to the brand new cards, most of these you probably saw in yesterday's video, so I'll try to speedrun it a little bit, but starting off with your Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force. This thing, during the main phase, can banish 1 or more Dark monsters from your graveyard, then target a Dark Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck 1 Phantom Knight, Raidraptor, or XYZ Dragon XYZ monster, whose rank is equal to that, plus of course the cards you just banished from the graveyard. So you activate this, rank up one of your monsters into one of the bigger ones, which could be a copy of your other new card, Raidraptor Revolution Falcon Air Raid. Alright, this thing normally takes 3 level 6 winged beast monsters, but we're going to be ranking up into this thing so we don't care about that. Additionally, this thing can also be summoned by just discarding a rank up spell and then just using a rank 5 or lower Raidraptor XYZ monster control as material, so you could summon out a copy of your 4 Strix, then just special summon this thing out by discarding a rank up spell from your hand. Alright, then when this thing is summoned, it can target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it. And if it was face up, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack if this had on the field. Then it has a nice little bonus effect over here, but that last effect doesn't matter too much for this because we're not playing that many Raidraptors in the extra deck, so you can read that on your own time. Doesn't really affect this deck list in particular. Alright, the other 2 new cards are of course going to your Raiders Knight and your Rebellion XYZ Dragon. Your Raiders Knight is basically a card where you put it on the field, activates its effect to detach material, to then rank it up into one of your rank 5s over here, normally going to be your Rebellion XYZ Dragon. This thing, when it's XYZ summoned, this XYZ summon card cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can attach one material from this card gains attack equal to the total original attack of all monsters on the field. Then if this card has a Dark XYZ monster as material, which it probably will, you can then just negate the effects of all other face-up monsters on the field. And keep in mind though, this thing will be the only monster that can attack for the turn, but normally this thing will have upwards of like 9,000 attack or something, so that doesn't matter too much. You swing with this, kill your opponent instantly, and it's just an absolute OTK machine. As for the rest of the deck list, it's all just typical stuff you've probably seen before in Raidraptor, so without further ado, let's go check out some gameplay. Alright, today I've got 7 replays to share with you guys. All were taken from the 10-1 streak I had with this art type, and I'm actually still currently on an 8-game win streak with the deck list, so I could have increased this deck's win rate a hell of a lot more by just playing a bunch more, but I got way too many replays already for the video, so I decided to cut it there. But yeah, this deck list feels really goddamn good. It's definitely strong enough for the ladder. I don't think it's quite as good as Phantom Knight, so I'm not sure if it's actually going to be a top tier deck list, but yeah, it feels really, really fun to play, so I hope you guys enjoy these replays. Alright, so starting off against a Mayakashi. And I think we go second in this one. Alright, this deck is definitely way better at going first than second. Unfortunately, because the skill, like I said during the deck list portion, plays the monsters of the field, it's really nice at letting you sometimes extend through disruption, but a lot of the time just playing a monster to your field without having any of its effects being able to be activated, because most of your Raidraptors require you to just normal summon them to use their effect, is just not that useful. Sometimes it's great because you just special summon things like your Strangle Lanius if you just got a dark monster on the field, but other times it just doesn't really cut it all that much, so yeah, definitely a much better going first deck than going second, but it's also a lot better than the previous version of Raidraptor thanks to that last little part of the skill, so at least it's got something going for it. Alright, so my opponent's setting up a full Mayakashi little setup here. We're going to fast forward a little bit. He's got no cards left in hand, so we don't have to worry about any hand traps, and we don't have to worry about any back row either. Alright, so just going to normal summon here, activate the effect, special summoning from hand, sending to graveyard. Alright, special summoning. Keep in mind, by the way, you typically want to special summon this particular extender as the first extender you use, because this one can only be used to go into winged beast type monsters, so you're only using it to go into this card here in particular, so keep that in mind. You want to use this one first. Also keep in mind this thing's level 1, so putting this thing in the graveyard is not really a good revive target for something like your Strangle Lanius here. It's more of a good card to banish with your rank up spell later on. Alright, 4 Strix, searching for my other extender. We have 2 main extenders in this, and of course the Strangle Lanius as well, so 3 extenders I guess. Skill is going to put a monster on the field, searching for a rank up. Going to be, of course, using the skill, we sent the 4 Strix to the graveyard, because then we can use the rank up spell to revive the 4 Strix, and turn it into a rank 6. And it doesn't even have to be a dark rank 6, it can be literally a copy of your Evilzar Solda. Alright. Popping his monster, Mimicry Lanius, searching for a monster here. Alright. Making the Raiders Knight. I don't know why my opponent let me do like all of this before trying to remove anything, but anyway. Summoning out my boss monster, and at this point, both these cards are actually immune to destruction, although this one's only immune when it's got material, and I'm pretty sure I used the material in a second, but yeah, this thing, it's immune to destruction, so his card isn't going to do anything to me. He does put it in defense, but I pop it, so whatever. And unfortunately, he can't put that Link monster in defense, so this Rebellion Dragon is going to absolutely dismantle him. Alright, negating everything on the field so we can't even redirect the attack or whatever the hell this stupid Link monster does. I think this Link monster forces you to attack the thing it's pointing to or something, but negate its effects, so that 8,000 damage was going straight into it. Yeah. Alright. I don't know why that guy waited so long to use his disruption, but I think even if he used it at any point during my combo, I would have gotten 2 rank 4s out, and or 2 level 4s out and ranked up anyway, so I think he was pretty screwed just either way. Alright. I could even have popped my own trap card there to search for another rank up spell, just in case he removed my rank 4, my Raiders Knight. Alright. So this guy's playing Phantom Knight. So Phantom Knight is, I'm not gonna lie, not the greatest matchup. It seems good in theory, because most of them are setting up the Floodgate right now, which is only for levels, and we're playing Xyz monsters. But most of the time it comes down to, did you draw the Forbidden Lance, or are you doomed? Because you need to Lance their negate, or it can be pretty hard to play through. The negate and the pop. 2 lots of disruption is pretty bad for this deck to try to play through. It can be pretty difficult. But if you open Lance, it is absolutely wonderful. Because this deck sucks against Lance. Because you can just Lance their Xyz monster as they're trying to rank it up, and they don't rank up anymore. So they lose their pop from their trap card, and they lose their negate as well. Sending out that fantastic pixelated PlayStation 2 animation. Alright. Book of Moon's my first monster, which is completely fine, because we can actually send that Book of Moon monster to the graveyard for our skill. It's kind of interesting that you can also play things like Mind Control in this deck and steal your opponent's monsters, then use them for the skill. I tried that myself, but I just felt like there just wasn't enough room in a 20-card deck list for Mind Control and Lance, and 3 copies of this if you want to use it that way, so I didn't end up playing it. But it is like an interesting thing you can think about. Alright, flipping my monster face up, he's going to try to rank up. There goes my Lance, targeting his card, and it doesn't work. And now he's got no disruption left. I can use my Lanius, summon itself to the field. Your pain, Lanius. Alright, 4-3, it's going to be searching, going my other extender. Special summoning, special summoning. Activating the rank up to rank it up. Making a nice little air raid here, which can pop a card on the field. Alright, then use Unbreakable Mind on this monster despite it being a Lance, so it does absolutely nothing. Very big brain. I was just trying to get more attack from my Raiders Knight in a second. Oh my, sorry, my Arc Rebellion XYZ Dragon, not the Raiders Knight. I'm kind of sad this thing doesn't have an animation. But this card could actually use an animation. Alright, 7,000 damage and he's gonzo. He's donezo. Alright. Up next, we have King of Noobs. Okay. So there's quite a few Phantom Knights in here, if I remember correctly. Obviously not this guy, but there were quite a few. I think I got 3 Phantom Knight replays. I think I beat every single Phantom Knight player I faced, actually, which I don't think is very common. I think I drew Lance in 2 out of the 3 games, so... Anyway. Alright. So up against Shiranui this time, and we're going first. Not the greatest opening hand. Normally you want to open 3 monsters because you can set up a absolutely disgusting field most of the time if you've got 3 of them, which is where the 7 disruptions come from. But 2 monsters is still fine. You just set up, I think, 4 disruptions instead. Alright, 4 Strix, getting a search. Going my Lanius. Swapping it out, grabbing the rank up. Alright, activating the trap card so I can use my rank up. Probably going to pop the trap card as well, so I get my spell card. Popping that, searching for the spell. Special summon, special summoning back from the graveyard. Keep in mind, by the way, that this card locks you into Dark, I believe, so make sure if you're going to use this to extend. If you do want to plan to summon out your Solda, this thing's fire, so you want to summon this thing out first before you ever summon out this card in particular. Alright. Alright, there's your rank up into your triple negate plus your other thing. He shotguns the Book of Moon, which is kind of odd. I'm just going to rank up my monster immediately. Got a nice little Lance here to defend it from a second Book of Moon anyway. Alright. Squire gonna try to special summon. I'm gonna Dark Requiem pop the... Oh, sorry, negate that. Spectral Sword trying to banish, of course, we're just gonna negate that as well. Yeah, having 3 negates is absolutely disgusting. He tries to destroy it here again, we can just negate that so we don't care. And I think he just concedes after this. Yeah, if your opponent doesn't have an out for the Requiem, if they're a monster-heavy deck, they are just screwed. Thankfully, there are quite a few outs to it, like that guy did have Book of Moon that he just randomly shotgunned. I don't know why he did that. He could have waited on the Book of Moon till I was going to, like, try to rank up my card and then... I don't know, wait till it's after... I don't know what he could have done there, actually. I had 2 Lances set, so... I had double Lance set, he was probably screwed. I don't know if you can... I actually don't know if you can Book of Moon something that's been targeted. I'm pretty sure it'll still rank it up, so... Yeah, double Lance was kind of hard for him. Alright. So he's going to search for his rank up spell here. Again, we've drawn Lance, so we're pretty happy. Although our hand is kind of awkward. So these cards are effectively just rotors to search for a monster, so not too bad. As long as we draw like a 3rd monster, we're pretty good to go. Alright. Break Sword gonna be summoning back. Ranking up immediately into his Ophion. Grabbing his trap card. Which is kind of terrifying. A bounce 2 versus this deck is a little bit scary. Alright, before passing the turn. Alright, grabbing my third monster. We have 2 extenders actually. He's going to immediately try to rank up. We're going to Forbidden Lance that. So that's 2 disruptions down already from 1 card. Spectral Summoning is going to bounce both these cards, but thankfully we still have an extender in hand, and we've still got our skill to put a monster on the field. Tossing ourselves a little monster on the field here, putting him face up. Alright. Making our 4 Strix. 4 Strix detaching, searching for our Tribute Lanius. He has a Crow, which doesn't really affect us too much. Alright, ranking up into our Rebellion XYZ Dragon. And I believe we go to pop his card, give ourselves a bunch of attack. Rank up one more time. Making an air raid. I don't think we had lethal here though, because he had the trap card engraved, so... He does get to defend himself. Tries to top deck a monster, unfortunately, didn't get anything he needed, and he's gone. Alright, it's actually so like amazing how strong Lance is right now. Lance is like the best tech card right now, it's so good. It's good at defending your monsters, it's good at defending yourself from back row, it's good at disrupting your opponent trying to fusion summon, it's good trying to disrupt your opponent trying to rank up cards. It's actually such a strong card right now. Alright.
Duel.
Alright, he's gonna be another Fan Knight player. I hope I didn't just click the same replay. I think this is a different guy. Yeah, we have a much different hand. Alright, I don't know if this guy even went for Ophion. Alright, summons out the Break Sword. Raiders Rebellion, swapping it out. Silent Boots, searching for his rank up spell. And I think he passes on that, so he doesn't even go for Ophion. Tries to Lancier us, which is good against the mirror match. Against this deck, it does disrupt the one card you put in the graveyard, but that's about it. So as long as you've got plenty of cards in hand already, it doesn't really matter at all. Alright, he's going to rank up his monster. Didn't have Lance this time, but thankfully he's only got 1 negate and 1 pop, which isn't too hard to deal with. Yeah, this guy should totally have just gone for his Ophion line, just ended on Ophion as well. Alright, putting my monster on the field, thanks to the skill. Got Slant caught in my throat. God, alright. Gonna negate my extender in hand, but thankfully we still got another one. I think he saw... Didn't he see me search for that extender? Either way. Raiders Knight going up into our XYZ Dragon, and yeah, he's just dead on field. Completely and utterly dead. 9,800 attack. Didn't quite get over the 10k, but yeah. Alright. Onto our Rutliix, or whatever the hell this guy's name is. Oh yeah, this game. This game should not have been close. It's just, I had 7 seconds left on the clock, so I just had to pass the turn. I didn't trust myself to play quick enough, and it nearly cost me the game. But it made a bit of a banger ending, so... Oh yeah, you're gonna be seeing the full board setup here. The absolute full board setup. Normally you can set up the 6 disruptions very easily, but to keep the trap card on the field as well is really hard to do, because you need to have a rank up spell already in hand, so you don't need to destroy your trap card to search for a rank up spell. But yeah, we're gonna be setting up the full field here. So 4 Strix gonna be searching for your Strangle Lanius. Grabbing your rank up spell. Alright. Shade Force reviving. Making your Evolzar Solda. Special summoning, reviving from grave. These two become your Evilswarm Nightmare, and then we can set for the disruption during your opponent's turn. So we've got double flip face down, a destroy on special summon, we've got the rank up into the 3 negates and pops, and of course the Unbreakable Mind to pop a card as well. So 7 disruptions on this field, one of which is immune to Dark Hole as well, and of course we can still rank up the stuff during our opponent's turn. Alright, but unfortunately we're against a deck that doesn't actually care too much about what we just did, so... Probably should have seen the Poltergeist coming. I would have thought Poltergeist players would play the new skill, but What else are Odeon players going to play other than trap cards? Alright, use the Mimicry. I'm going to destroy the card he just special summoned. Not going to negate the Mimicry because I don't care too much about it. Alright, going to rank up, so now we can pop one of the trap cards before the end of the main phase. Alright, hitting a Ballista Squad, which is pretty good. This guy had a lot of stall, actually. It took me forever to win this game. So he's going to summon back 2 cards, slowly burning me to death because I've already chunked my own life points. Thankfully, he tries to buff this thing to defend it, but I can just flip the monster he just summoned face down, so doesn't matter too much. Also, I can just negate the multi-faker and pop it. Still beat over both his monsters on the field. Gonna negate this as well, so you're gonna get the add back, I believe. I think that's what it does. Oh no, that's from deck to hand. Yeah, I'm just gonna negate that. Alright, ranks up once again into another Hex Tier. Silkatus adding back a trap card. We don't want that, so we're gonna negate that as well. Alright, was this the turn I had 7 seconds left on the clock, so I didn't rank up? It might have been. Oh yeah, it was. I think. Yeah, so I could have prevented this. I literally could have ranked up during my opponent's turn, ranking up either of these two into anything from my extra deck and popped this trap card, because I knew this trap card was something that wasn't the revive, so I wanted to get rid of it. Unfortunately, I had 6 seconds left on the clock, so I could have won this a hell of a lot easier. Made it a lot closer than it had to be. Summons back again. I'm going to flip that face down so it doesn't get its effect. Unfortunately, you've got no negates left. Removing the Silkatus. Beating over all 3 of his cards. Yeah, this game, I actually nearly threw the game from that. Just not playing quick enough. That's the thing about little combo-y decks in Duel Links. They take way too goddamn long. 600 life points left. I'm going to put this card into attack because I'm desperate at this point. 400 life points left, he bounces back to hand, but thankfully that last trap card was absolutely nothing, so he was dead on field. Thanks to putting this thing in attack, by the way. If this wasn't an attack, it wasn't lethal, so... Because his last trap card, I believe his last trap card was the thing that lets your opponent choose to send a monster from their field to the graveyard, so I would have just sent the, little guy. Alright, now it's the final replay. 200 life points, god damn. 200 life points and, actually, it mustn't have been, because if he had the trap card, he would have activated and just burnt me for 200, so... I don't know what that last trap card was. If it was even a trap card. Alright. Or maybe that skill can't actually do lethal damage. I know a lot of the burn skills they changed, they can't do lethal, but I think that one can. Either way, very close game. Alright. I think this is a full turn setup again, this one. So 4 Strix, searching for my dude. Sending to the graveyard. Activating the Raiders, going to use my spell card to revive. Minusing a bunch of life points, making your Solda. Popping itself to search for a rank up spell. Alright, swapping out the one we have in hand for another extender. Special summoning, making the XYZ Dragon. Special summoning again, reviving from graveyard. And these two become the Evilswarm Nightmare. So unfortunately I don't have the trap card this time, but that's still 6 disruptions on the field. Alright. He's going to try to book a moon. I guess he had to do that anyway. He still had to get rid of this thing at some point. But even book and mooning that doesn't matter too much, because we just summon out one of our other billion disruptions for him to deal with. Tries to use the effect, negate. Tries the effect again, another fat negate. And he just concedes. Yeah, that field is really hard to play through. Alright guys, I think that's it for today's replays, so I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you didn't leave a like, subscribe. Still got a bunch of videos planned around the latest box. Tomorrow will be the, what's the spell card art type called? I've forgotten the name of this. Your Performer Mage will be tomorrow, so if you want to see that, remember to subscribe for that. Thank you guys for watching, hope to see you in the next one, and laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.